Hey, thank you for joining me for another message. You recognize that spirit was higher than your personal opinion. So now you're awake. Now you're up. It reminds me of the scripture, His ways are higher than our ways. Simply saying, your divine self knows what's up because it sees in all spaces, times, and dimensions. And you just need to connect back to your divine self. And that's what you've been doing. Our crystal is the shungite, and it's all about discipline. The affirmation is, I practice the art of discipline, and it brings freedom to my soul. Another reason why you feel so free is because you have learned how to surrender, the art of surrender, allowing your divine self to guide you, allowing God to lead you in only the way God can. Throat chakra activation, loading now. So we're in the White Light Oracle guiding book, and truth be told, Spirit is demonstrating what's going to happen right now when we talk about leaving it up to a higher mind, a higher intelligence, because I actually don't know how this reading is going to come together, how this message is going to come out through the cards. All I know is I pulled this card, read the description, and pulled these two decks out, so I don't know how it's going to really lay out yet. But I know that I can trust my higher self to figure it out when I get there, when it's time. So that's a message. When you need it, whatever it is, you're going to have it when you need it, because you are practicing the art of discipline, and you are free because of it, meaning balancing your emotions, controlling, managing your emotions, keeping your mind on the higher things, whatever is positive, whatever is lovely, whatever is good, whatever is fair, what's about justice. See what I'm saying? You've disciplined yourself to not be all over the place, because you realize that spirit knows. Spirit knows. And now, so do you. And it took discipline for you to be able to flow in the way you flow. So kudos to you. We're going to get messages for you about you, and even a love message might come out through this too, because that's what I thought I was going to do, a love message. And as I was preparing and just following my higher self, I knew that something was shifting, but I didn't know quite what. But now here we are. So we have Obadiah. That's how I pronounce it, Obadiah. You might say Obadiah. But two things. Dire, consequences, dire, also is somebody's last name. D-Y-E-R, I'm seeing also. And oboe, you might play the oboe or know somebody who does, or you're just fascinated by the instrument. But this card is number 3. This is the third reading that I've done tonight, on this night, and this is the third time that the number 3 has come out in the message. So the angelic assistance that is available to you right now is unmatched. Another message I did earlier talked about being in the frequency of miracles. And it is according to your belief, according to the power of your belief that is already working in you. All you're doing is connecting to that higher intelligence, recognizing that spirit was higher than your personal opinion. You did a lot of cleansing and purging, because making assumptions, assuming something, I feel like it caused you a lot of anxiety and stress and worry. But now, recognizing that spirit is higher than you, meaning connecting to your divine self. I don't know why I felt like I needed to repeat that again, but it's important that you don't throat chakra activation loading now. It's important that you don't give your power away. Hear my heart as I say this. give your power away by saying, well, that's out of my control. God will do it. No, you act and then God will act. In other words, follow your higher mind, do the thing, and then it'll seem as if, oh, that was benevolent. Oh, that was a miracle. But no, it's actually believing that you are made in the image of God, believing that you are a divine spark, here on the earth to spark, right? You are literally a piece of something that is eternal and magical and powerful, all knowing. So it says, do not turn away from your path, nor what you know in your heart to be true. No matter what appears to be, nor what logic may dictate, trust what your heart is telling you. That is so important. No matter what logic tries to tell you, trust what your heart is telling you. You are safe and protected by spirit. You are spiritually empowered with all you need to manifest your authentic soul path. I just saw the magician card. Hi, Geminis. You got it. You got everything you need. And you did that because you did not put your personal opinion over your God self, your God mind. So you have what it takes to connect with the light and live that connection in practical ways which contribute positive energy to our human collective. So obedire is a Latin word. It means obedience. Now, isn't it interesting that we have obedience and discipline in the same message? We're out here with obedience and discipline. This is you. Recognizing that spirit was higher than your personal opinion, you're awake now. You have awakened to that, and your life is moving in the frequency of miracles through obedience and discipline. Disobedience is not about conforming to authority. Obedience, literally, the original meaning of the word, the etymology, if you will, is to hear and to not turn away. That is the etymology. That is the definition. The oracle, this card is about becoming a sacred rebel and giving up faith in the ways of the world and embracing the ways of the spirit unconditionally. There it is. Giving up the world's ways, giving up the logic and what you're seeing, and then following with absolute, complete faith, reckless abandon even, your heart. And that has guided you and is giving you so much life. You may consider yourself to be a feisty, independent, strong person rather than one who is docile and surrendered in spirit. And a vibrant and powerful personality may feel initial resistance or confusion when asked to become soft in the ways of the spirit. That is so crucial right there. Because I'm talking to those of you who are used to just, being like out there, right? You take the bull by the horns and all that. Hey, Aries, right? Taurus, how you doing? But the ways of the spirit, you have to become soft. And that might have been a little bit of discomfort for you, again, because you have strong personal opinions. But you've practiced the art of discipline, and now you are free. You are free to be yourself because you have surrendered into the knowing that you are the embodiment of light. You are God. The Word became flesh and dwelt among us. You were spoken into existence. You know what I mean? You were spoken. Breath was breathed into your body, and you came here literally to represent. But you also have to come back here and remember that the ways of the spirit are soft. You know what I mean? This takes nothing from your big personality, just simply saying you had to learn another way of being. You had to give up your personal opinions, right? And connect to your higher divine mind and be okay with that. No question, no confusion, no resistance. I trust that I am connected to my higher self. How do you know that? Because you got to know how a God moves. That's how you move, right? You hear and you don't turn away from what your higher self is saying to you. That is obedience. And that obedience is bringing you into a space where you are just more receptive to spirit and you become more unique, not less. When you are flowing with God's spirit, when you are flowing in your God self, you are more unique, not less. More of your light shines, right? So also, there's a message here about getting out of your own way. Took discipline to do that. Now you're awake. Now you're awake to the fact that you can just be free. And there are no mistakes as long as you keep trying, the answer will find you. Sometimes we make things more difficult for ourselves, even when our intentions are good. Right from the book, it says, this is because we see things from a limited or partial perspective. Remember, we talked about that higher mind, that eagle eye, bird's eye view. That's what I'm hearing. I'm also seeing an airplane like flying way up in the sky. You soar above life's challenges. You soar above life's problems. There is a space, there's a place that you dwell, and it's a place on a mountaintop like Mount Olympus is what I'm seeing now. You could be Greek, or that's feta cheese. That's funny. That's something that I'm seeing a strong Greek connection here. I'm hearing Helena, but I'm seeing Mount Olympus, and you have learned to stay or occupy yourself in the place where gods live. You fly above the fray, above the chaos. So learning to get out of your own way is taking discipline, and you've had to be obedient. Again, turning away from hearing the message, turning away from anything that would keep you from success, right? And you've learned to do that, or you're doing it right now. So we see things from a limited or partial perspective, and it doesn't mean that we shouldn't act at all. It just means that we need to practice sensing and following spirit by tuning into our heart. And when we do that, we'll act in a more centered way, and then we're guided. That guidance is sure. We're sure-footed. Strong message here about being sure-footed. Our actions, when we are sure-footed, are more likely to hit the mark, right? So we're learning, flowing with the greater wisdom of life, recognizing that spirit is wiser. So the more awakened we are, the more genuine that we are in our efforts, the more we can give, the more benefit for everybody that can happen because of our obedience to being true to what we know that we are here to do, being true to what we know that we can do, being true to what we know we want to do. So also, don't hand over your power. Okay? Final message, I kind of touched on it, but I'll say it. Don't hand over your power, nor to seek out spirit to tell you what to do. There's a message here. It's always up to you to exercise your free will and live your life as you choose. Otherwise, this wouldn't be any fun. So don't give up your power. I'm waiting on... No, you're not. No, you're not. Everything. We're all here for you. We're all here for you. That might be something you want to say in the mirror tonight before you go to bed, or even right where you are. It's all here for me. It's not conceit. It's not narcissism. Hear what you're saying. It shifts your perspective. It shifts your perspective. Hey, be obedient. Be obedient to the message. Shift your perspective. We're talking about radical gratitude. We're talking about a radical way to live. We're talking about recognizing that spirit is higher than your personal opinion. And so awaken now to yourself and say, this is all here for me, right? So don't give up your power. Exercise your free will. Live your life as you choose. That's what the discipline gives you, the freedom to your soul, because you practice the art of discipline. So the responsibility, let's talk about that a little bit, because you did talk about the shungite and the discipline card, right? The responsibility behind your freedom might seem like it's too much, but this is what we are as human beings. We got to own our freedom, and we got to exercise it with delight. We got to be happy to do it. I have another message out that says you have the right to lose control. So this is our task. Own our freedom, exercise it with reckless abandon, audacity, and also the wisdom that we've gained from being what? obedient to our higher selves, God. Yeah? So when we do this, we'll have more courage. We'll have more courage than doubt. We'll have more capabilities. We'll be ready to live as a light on the earth. And we'll be ready to listen to spirit and do something about what we hear, what we perceive our higher selves saying. We'll listen and obey. Really, that's what it is. So also, last message, you are encouraged to ditch the drug of doubt. Doubt undermines your confidence and sends you on a mission to gain approval before making every decision. Somebody just went, oh. Approval can become the hit that alleviates doubt temporarily. But, because when people say, yeah, when you get a lot of opinions and it's like, okay, that'll be good. I have no doubt I'm going to do it. That's temporary. But it prevents you from building the strength you need to listen for your own voice. Remember, I cleared my throat. Let me clear my throat. You can get approval. It'll help you temporarily. But what really builds your strength? Discipline. What really builds your strength is listening for your own voice, God. So recognize your inner potential and practice trusting yourself and trust your capacity to respond when life is unpredictable. Things happen. Trust that you will know what to do. Trust that you have a soul-honoring integrity to move through every obstacle or whatever it takes, right? So that's the long intro. That's the long intro. If that's all the message you needed, you're good. You can bounce. But if you want to stay for a few more moments, I do want to get out a few oracle cards and just give a little of this message as it relates to, well, we'll just see. Wow. Well, I can already tell that this wants to be here. This wants to be here. Helpful people. Yep. Listening to your higher self, that God self. Yeah. The challenge was the compromise. Compromising your standards and your integrity so that you could honor your own personal opinion. How about that? You know what I mean? And maybe you didn't want to budge at all. You knew that your spirit was telling you to do something. You knew your spirit was guiding you in one way, but you were like, I don't know. Logic kept, there was a tug of war. I'm seeing those dueling dragons inside of each one of us, right? The one you feed is the one that grows. So feed with faith, not fear, right? But it was a challenge for you to compromise and trust your intuition. I don't feel like you're dealing with that now. But what does Spirit have to say about this? Big happy changes. Spirit is saying, hey, you made it. You are in the frequency of miracles. There's big happy changes coming to your life now. Last card, ask help from others. So you have two cards about the angelic assistance that we talked about. Ask help from others, helpful people. All of these are angels. Ask your ancestors. Ask your deities. Ask and it shall be given. Remember, we're all here for you. This is all here for you. Obadiah is here for you. This angel of Obadiah, her frequency is all about hearing and turning away from anything that is contrary to what you've heard. That's what obedience is. I heard the direction, or I know my path, and I'm not going to stray from it. Okay? That's the higher self. Following your higher self. Okay? Trusting it. Because the compromise card comes in because you weren't trusting yourself. You had to say, well, maybe I could just do this. And if this works, some of y'all were fleecing. Like I got a fleecing God. Okay, if this you, I need a pink giraffe with a turban on to come walk past my front yard at 10:30 a.m. You know what I mean? And then I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? I need my neighbor to come outside and cut their grass and eating an ice cream cone wearing flip-flops and wave at me 3 times, and then I'll go ahead and make the phone call. You know what I mean? Don't have to do that anymore. Message of concern. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that anymore. All you have to do is trust. And the fact that you've recognized that you can connect and your higher self has never steered you wrong, so you can relax in this dance of life, and we're all here for you. Hey, it's a win-win. We're winning. Okay? All right. I believe that is all we're going to say. Let's just look at the bottom of the deck, and I'll use that message as like the closing advice. I can't make it up. Didn't we say somebody fleece God? Look for a sign. You were looking for a sign. Well, good news today. I hear your guides, and I hear the just our angelic help saying, it's okay. Ask us. Ask us to show you something. Some of y'all are going to have lightning where you are. It might be a thunder and lightning storm at an unusual time of year. Like, what? In November? What? In December? You know what I mean? There's going to be lightning and thunder when it's not normal. All right, that's a huge sign for some of you. Some of you have had an unusual amount of rain, water. That's what I'm getting, water. Like overrun with water, just wet. That's a sign. But I feel like you also looked for a sign from Spirit before, but now you can do it because you're awake, you're more conscious. You can now send out some, really good messages like, I need this, Spirit. Really work. Co-create with your higher self. Like, believe, try some things, ask some things, ask for help. There's helpful people all around you, and look for a sign, okay, that you're on the right path. That's the least that Spirit can do for you, because they want to give you so much more. So yeah, if a sign will help, great. Ask for a sign. It's better to ask for a sign than to sit and wait. And I'm seeing somebody wringing their hands. It's better to ask for a sign than to not do anything, So it's going to be amazing. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you heard something that can change your life. If you need any help from me, please go to my website, TheDivineMaverick.com. There's candles there. There's the Maverick Academy. You can sign up through Patreon. Meet me every Thursday night at the round table. High-level conversations. There's also meditations that I have infused with light language. Snazzy t-shirts with witty sayings, and you know how we do, those one-liners that we come up with when we're live. And also a personal session, like I said, rejuvenate or a love and light session. It's all good. So everything I just said is down in the description box below. But I'd love to see you. Don't forget to join my mailing list so you can keep up with me. Do that through my website, TheDivineMaverick.com. There's my commercial. You guys enjoy your day. See ya.